Did you see Sputnik over the other night? Anywhere in the world, someone could look up and see exactly what I saw.
To everyone else, it was just a light in the sky.
Let them have outer space. We got rock and roll.
But to Homer Hickam, it was the future.
Sputnik is a milestone in history.
And just maybe a way out.
College scholarships for winning a science fair? I'm going to build a rocket.
Hey there, welcome back. Pod and Deliver. Ruben, tonight we're looking at October Sky with our movie review. 1999, a young Jake Gyllenhaal plays Homer Hickman, Chris Cooper, John Hickam, and so forth. Ruben, this is about a young man in West Virginia in the 1950s, I believe 57, 58, in that time period. And just like a regular teenager, has some buddies, but he gets, what's the word, enlightened, excited when he sees Sputnik go around the, orbit, right? And his teacher, Laura Dern, who plays is Laura Dern. Her name is Miss Frida Riley. She is there to also encourage him once she sees that spark in his eye, and he is just all in. He wants to build rockets. I think at one time he says, "I want to build me some rockets," or something like in that vein. And I think his family thinks he's crazy. He's gonna be a coal miner because that's what his father was, his grandfather. And the only way to get out of that mining town is maybe with a football scholarship. And Homer is no football player. And so the film takes you with this guy who has a desire with his buddies trying to just live out their dream, which is to fly a rocket. And then his teacher really encourages them to get into the science fair, which they think is nuts because like science fair, what do we have to offer? Who are we? But then you just see these guys working and working, and it tells you what work does, right? When you put your mind to something. It reminds me of Edison when he was working on a light bulb, right? Where I think they say he tried 10,000 times until he got it right. These guys were going to go for it until they got this rocket to go up. So anyway, you see this film and you see and I love the relationship with the father too, because by Chris Cooper, he is not always excited about this, but he loves his son. And there's a few beautiful moments between the son and him where they have these conversations about what Homer's doing, and which is trying to live out his dream. Ruben, I really like this film. I've watched it. I actually get a little emotional because of that father-son relationship. You really want that. You really want your father to be proud of you, and you want your father to be your hero. And I think we're lucky that we had that, but not everybody has that. And we see some other people in the film that have fathers that aren't, there for them. But yeah, Ruben, I liked it. Yeah.
It does teach the value of hard work and determination for sure.
Mm-hmm.
This kid, the scenes about building the rockets and just one rocket goes up and then immediately falls down. They work on it led by Homer, and Homer Hickam, right? The Gylenhaal character.
Yeah. And
that is a powerful lesson for teenagers. So I've taught the book, and we've seen the movie to go along with it. And I love, by the way, this type of filmmaking style that it seems to have gone away, in recent years. This, 50s, the Hoosiers,
right.
October Sky, that used to come out, style movies. But so that is there. The father relationship with the son, I didn't feel as warm as you did about the father. But he, to me, the real hero there was the Gylenhaal character, the son, because he was honorable and wanted to help his dad. The problem I had with the teacher is, as good as she is, and I love the fact that when a student has this dream and it sounds outlandish, sometimes we want to tamp it down, want to throw water on them. Are you sure you want to be a major film director? There's a lot of competition. Are you sure you want to be an astronaut? Don't do that. Just say, hey, what do you do? I always encourage and say, so you don't tamp down. They didn't do that to Homer, but you've seen that with some parents and teachers. I think the answer is to encourage the work toward it. So I know a teenager who wants to be an actress and doesn't do it. So I go, oh, have you been out on auditions? Well, no, I'm waiting till I get better. I go, oh, because actors are constantly working. They're constantly reading, constantly going out to auditions. And so I'm just always puzzled when I talk to her. You know,
It's funny you
so
say about auditions, Ruben. I saw a video recently of Ron Howard's daughter. Is it Bryce Howard? You know, she has a father with the name, so you think she could just get in any part, right? She goes, no, I had to work for it. So someone told me that you had to go to 64 auditions before you maybe get one. And she goes, I went to like 37 when I got my first one. And I go, wow, that's determination. That her last name was Howard. I'm sure that still helped her, but
Jacob,
yeah, yeah.
I hate to break it to you, she got in because of her dad. Sorry.
Well, I mean, unless
Her
she's
dad,
lying.
you're right. Her dad's Ron Howard.
Okay. Maybe that was a bad example.
She's also a good actress, but I mean, come on. What are we talking about here?
I know when you pause that way, I'm like,
You know that? Did you know that Nicolas Cage
all
got
right.
it?
Okay. All right. Well, all right. You got me.
You know what though? I'm partly you're right too. I jest. She is a good actress though, and Nicolas Cage is a great actor.
Yeah.
But it did
sure.
help them. Their
Oh
names.
yeah. You're right. You're right. I do want to say though, you mentioned Laura Dern. I felt like her part was really short though. I mean, it was a really small part, but go ahead.
Yeah. What about how she just walked away from him and didn't just kind of like, you're leaving school? Yeah, that's
she did
hard.
apologize though, but you're right. That was terrible. You're right.
It disappoints you, but you can't do that to a kid. And you want to honor him for doing the right thing. I felt it was kind of cold what she did, but okay, yeah, she apologized.
And but how about the mother though? Part of me was like thinking a lot of what Homer was because of the mom. She had dreams. She painted this picture on her kitchen wall of Myrtle Beach, just totally off. Like, what the heck is this woman doing? Just this painting. That was her dream, and she was going to do it. And we later find out she does retire there when her husband dies. And wow, what a great thing for Homer to see that a mother was, even when he was building his rockets, she'd go, just don't blow yourself up, Homer. She wasn't like, oh my gosh, you got like today, like maybe I would be like, oh my God, be careful, you're gonna blow off a finger. She was like, oh, go have fun, right? And she encouraged that. She encouraged him to continue doing it. And yes, the father was tough, but I think he wouldn't have been where he was at and who he was without his mother, who was right there just encouraging him. I love that part.
Yes, and there's what a spectacle. It's worth the price of admission or the price of the rental, however you can't no admission, of course, but it's worth the time, let's say. The scene when the rocket works. It's great. It's just the time, the meaningfulness of when something works out, when you put in all the hours. For teenagers, for younger people, they need to be reminded of that it doesn't just come that easy. You mentioned Edison, and there's a lot of great stories like Edison's, but his is a very dramatic one of how much time he put in, and there was no quit. So yeah,
and like you said, do something that you love, like that young lady you were talking about acting. Do something that you love and go for it. And because don't want to be stuck in a job all your life where you're unhappy and where you're not being productive. Because if you love something, you're going to be productive. You're going to do well. You're going to be successful. And so, yeah, I love this. I'm glad that you love this film, or at least you like this film, I should say. I like the film, and I want to encourage the audience to go watch it. This is one of those a feel-good movie, just like Ruben said regarding like Hoosiers, that type of feel film. If you like Hoosiers, you'll like this kind of film because it at the end of the film, you feel good. So again, and don't forget to go ahead and subscribe to our channel here. Thank you for doing that, those of you who have, and have yourself a good night. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.